Okay, here's a tutorial on variables in JavaScript. We're just going to do a quick little Mad Libs exercise and come up with a bunch of different words that will help tell part of a story in a kind of silly way. If you're not familiar with Mad Libs, this is a fun little thing that I remember doing as a kid in the car on trips in the back seat, just filling in all of the adjectives and nouns and then reading the story. So I have this set up where the story is kind of hidden behind the scenes. Now, all you have to do is create all the variables for it. As long as you give them the right names, we're going to kind of follow a pattern here with var1 and var2 and etc. Everything should work at the very, very end. So if you're not familiar with the syntax here, you can take a look at this README. There's a little bit of an introduction here about the syntax of declaring and initializing variables, and about data types, strings, and numbers. This is kind of the very, very beginning of learning JavaScript, so it's pretty simple. And we're not even going to do any printing. I'm doing all of that for you. So let's go back to the JavaScript. And all we really needed to do here is just start setting up these variables. So let's do that. I have already created a title called Thingamajig. You can name that whatever you would like. You can change it. My first one, it says a motion verb, for example, walk. And so I put cartwheel because, cartwheeling around is kind of fun. And then for var2, says first name, I chose Griselda because that's just kind of a silly name. This usually is more fun if you come up with sillier words. So let's see how this goes. Number 3 is name of a famous woman from a history book. I'm gonna actually choose something fairly serious for this one. I'm gonna say Michelle Obama, because she rocks. Okay. And number 4 is a metal object. So let var4. And again, we're naming these aren't very interesting names, but that's because I have it set up at the very bottom where they need to have these names in order for the program to run properly. So we're not focusing on the names, we're focusing on the values and the syntax here. So I have used the let keyword, I've given it a name, I'm using the assignment operator, the equal sign, to give it a value. Metal object, why don't we say a oh gosh, I don't know, a lead pipe will include tradition. Okay. And then for a wooden object, let var5, I'm going to say fence post. And I'll end that with a semicolon, as you should. Large number. Okay, this one we're going to declare a number instead of a string. I'm just going to kind of 52,497. How's that? And I should not have put a comma. But that's a good thing for me to bring up. No commas in JavaScript numbers. Don't do that. It won't work. Bad syntax. Okay, number 7. Let var7. A verb ending in ing. I'm going to say let's say gyrating. Okay, kitchen utensil. Oh, and that should have been a string, guys. There we go. Let var8 equal, all right, kitchen utensil, spatula, why not? You're making model of a car. Let var9 equal, I'm gonna go with 1980 Pontiac Sunbird. I used to have one of those about 20 years ago. It was awesome. It weighed like a billion pounds, but it was awesome. Okay, let var10 equal slimy oozing substance. Oh wow. Hot tar. I don't know. You come up with whatever values you want for these. I'm just kind of making it up as I go along. Okay, a shiny object. Diamond ring. Sure. Let var12 equal something colorful. How about rainbow confetti? And then texture. Okay, so let's 13 equal crunchy fluffy. Okay, so there's some examples here. Crunchy, fluffy. I'm gonna, I guess, go with grainy. All right, let their 14 equal an alien. Oh, I think this is supposed to say alien planet, and I must have accidentally deleted that. I'm gonna go with Alderaan because, you know, RIP. Okay. My favorite high school teacher. I got a couple of these. I'm gonna go with Mr. Nielsen. He was actually pretty cool. All right, we're 16. Strong emotion. About hilarity, like when you're just, you know, laughing so hard you can't even stand up straight. Okay. We're 17 equal. Oh, and this is a number. Okay, number greater than 10. I'm gonna go with 24, sure. They're 18. A fruit, plural. Okay. How about kumquats? I don't even know if I've ever had a kumquat, but it's a fun name to say. And then the very last one is 19. An adjective ending in est. Okay, so it's superlative. So let's go with sparkliest. Is that even a word? We're gonna go with it. Okay, so now that I have declared and initialized all of these variables, they have names, they have values. That means that they can be used as part of the story. So the part 2 is to come down here and it says, you know, once you've done this, you can uncomment the remaining lines and hit run to see how it comes out. And if there's any errors, we can, you know, make checks to see that everything is the way it's supposed to be. Maybe I should introduce an error just to kind of show you what that looks like. So let's say I accidentally named this variable 166. And so I come down here and I uncomment these last 3 lines here to run this code. And you don't need to worry about all the syntax that may be unfamiliar to you. This is something that I did, and all you have to do is uncomment it and then come up here and hit run. So let's see what happens. Yeah. So we get a reference error. It says var16 is not defined. And that's because it's trying right here. You can kind of see it's got a squiggly line. It's trying to access a value for that, but it can't find it. And that's because I didn't name it properly, which of course you saw me do on purpose. So now if I come back and I fix that so that it is, you know, var16 and I run it again, it works. And now we have a story. So I guess I can read this. You are welcome to stop the video at this point if you would rather just read it yourself with your own values, but I'll go ahead and read it with mine. The thingamajig. On a cool autumn afternoon, a blustery wind was making leaves cartwheel along the path as young Griselda walked home from school. Just as the bubbling Michelle Obama Creek came into sight, a strangely shaped object caught Griselda's eye. From a distance, it looked at first to be a bent lead pipe or perhaps even a broken fence post. Although Mother said it was important to come straight home from school in order to get chores done before dinner, Griselda stepped off the path and walked steadily toward the object, an insatiable curiosity taking over. Surely this was more interesting than washing 52,497 loads of laundry and gyrating the dishes. Upon reaching the mysterious object, Griselda was flummoxed. What could it possibly be? Was it some kind of spatula? It was also possible that it was a long-lost part from a vintage 1980 Pontiac Sunbird. Griselda decided to take it home, but it was covered in hot tar. Gross. Griselda carried it quickly over to the creek and washed the disgusting goo from the strange item. It seemed much brighter now, shiny, like a diamond ring, and the color of a rainbow confetti. Griselda scrambled across the dry, grainy leaves and skipped down the path toward home. Clambering noisily through the back door as children often do, Griselda yelled, "Mom, come see what I found." Griselda's older sister came around the corner and yelled, "Where on Alderaan have you been? And what in the name of Mr. Nielsen is that thing?" Her face was all twisted up with an unmistakable expression of hilarity. "I don't know," said Griselda, plunking the object down and grabbing 24 kumquats. I'm going to ask Mom. Where is she anyway? Here I am. Griselda's mother came into the room and let out a burst of laughter as soon as she saw what was on the kitchen counter. Oh, my child, you bring home the sparkliest things. Where did you find that rotary telephone anyway? The end. Okay, so this is very silly, but I hope you enjoyed it as a simple way to practice declaring variables, giving them values, and then seeing how they can be used as part of a larger program.